Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and today I want to talk about the build that I'm playing for Season 5 of Diablo 4, and I'm really excited about it because I'm calling it the Firewall of Fate build, and this is primarily focused around Firewall, which has always been a really good leveling build, except for now it's just really cranked up to 11. So first off, Firewall itself got a pretty handy buff with damage increase going from 160 all the way up to 230%, which is quite a bit of damage. But then on top of that, we do have the normal enchantment here for Firewall, which is the lucky hit, a 25% chance to, when you're dealing burning damage, to spawn 2 firewalls for 3 seconds. That is going to get buffed up massively by the Fists of Fate. So Fists of Fate, they've changed them around quite a bit. Now they have attack speed, critical strike chance. We don't care about those two things, but it also has the chance to get lucky hit and a chance to apply a random crowd control effect for 2 seconds, up to 51.8%. Now, if you times that by 50%, that means that GA, this is just going to be baseline 77% extra lucky hit chance. So that's like taking that 25% here and practically just doubling it. Once you get that all the way up to Masterwork, so it's like 50% chance. Firewall itself has a baseline lucky hit of 30%. So you're going to be proccing off quite a bit more lucky hit procs than you normally have been in the past. Fire's just going to be everywhere, and it's going to be absolutely great. Now, I did set up a couple of different versions of this. We have no uniques, pre-mythics, and then endgame. And I did kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the options here, because we're playing around a brand new aspect that I think is absolutely broken. You're also likely going to get this in the season journey. Typically they do put the new aspects in there as well, and so it is called the aspect of creeping death. So what this does is we're gonna have this on a 2-hander first off, so we're gonna double all the numbers on here. So you deal 40% increased damage, multiplicative, over time to enemies for each different crowd control effect they're affected by. Unstoppable enemies and staggered bosses take 80% increased damage over time from you instead. And so we're going to apply a ton of crowd control. Sorks have a decent little bit amount of crowd control, but we're applying slow, chill, they're separate, freeze, stun, daze, and immobilize. Those are all 6 that Sork gets. And so 6 times 40 is like 240% multiplier if you happen to get everything on the enemy. Also, friendly reminder that Fists of Fate can apply other stuff. I'm assuming you can apply like knockdown. Maybe you can apply knockback. I'm not really sure. There's tether, which no class can apply right now. This might be something that you can do here, which means these are going to stagger bosses like crazy. Absolutely crazy, especially as we have the lucky hit going. So we're going to be casting like nuts. But it's probably a lot of mana. So how are we going to maintain all of that mana? Well, they fixed Starlight aspect finally. So what it does is you gain up to 40% of your primary resource for every 20% of life that you heal. This never used to work with overhealing. And if we look in the patch notes here, we can see they fixed an issue where Starlight did not properly work with overhealing effects. So now we can overheal ourselves to get quite a bit of healing going. And how we're going to do some overhealing? Great question. So first off, life on hit is insane with damage over time. Absolutely insane. I highly recommend you get these on both of your rigs while you're leveling up, and then probably not replace them for a while until you can get more life on hit. Gloves is another great place for life on hit, and weapons is another place to get life on hit. With all of those, you're pretty much just going to be like swimming in health and swimming in resource, just be able to cast like crazy all over the place, filling the entire hell tide with flames, and just really annoying all of your friends with how much fire there is everywhere on the ground, everywhere. It'll be a lot of fun. We're also going to be applying a lot of crowd control as a baseline here. So we have aspect of audacity to stun enemies when we're just first starting off here. We have concussive strikes, which is the only way we have to apply dazed. Exploiters aspect makes it so those crowd controls last longer. And then we're also going to be tempering onto our amulet, boots, and pretty much any spot, just more stuff to get more crowd control. So mobilize, freeze, slow, those are all good ones to get. Even stun is all fine. So you can put all of those onto all of the utility slots, and eventually we'll replace those. Now, one more thing I do want to point out with Starlight aspect is that they did change warmth on the tree. So warmth now is going to be healing for quite a bit more. I think the number is actually double this. I don't think the Mobilytics guide has been updated 100% yet. I think that this is updated over here. So yeah, it should be 4% per point. And so if you get 3 points in there, it'll be 12% healing from bosses per second. And so you just get a couple more points from warmth, from tempering. You're pretty much just going to be full healing your cost of a, you're getting like a full tick of this like every second, full 40 resource. So you'll be able just to spam firewalls. You just never will run out of resources as long as there are things around you burning. And if there's nothing around you burning, you don't need to cast anyways. Eventually, when we start upgrading our gear, Crown of Lucian is really, really great. They did nerf this from the PTR, where before it had a massive gain resource cost reduction. That's gone. The amount of damage you can get from this has been cut down, I believe, to 75% increased damage, and the amount of resource cost has gone up. So it's going to resources are going to cost 150% more. So that starlight aspect is really going to be kicking in until we get our starless skies, which is really good. Obviously, we want our Fists of Fate. Tybalt's Will does help out. Talrash's is going to be really easy for us to proc off because we're going to obviously be doing fire. We have a little bit of cold from our ice blades. We have lightning from our teleport. We also have the ability to put either shadow or poison temper on to our weapon here as well, if we want to do that. And yeah, they'll pretty much be able to do all 4 elements. They did buff Talrash's ring as well. So this goes up to 80% multiplier now. So it's just a really nice thing to take advantage of. And then eventually we're going to be working in Aterial's Might. It's going to give you a ton of damage reduction, ton of resistances. Starless Sky is going to cut all the resource costs down and make it so that you're also getting more damage for casting. And then probably going to either put in Andariel's here. Maybe just keep Lucian's on, though. I think could possibly be good. Harlequins could potentially be okay. I think there's a lot of different ways to take advantage of the, the build this season. We'll have to figure out what feels the best. I'm probably going to prioritize getting Tyrael's Might, though, because this is going to give you a ton of resistances and tons of damage reduction. It's just absolutely going to be insane next season. Creeping Death is, I think, just going to be really, really cool. We're basically going to be taking advantage of all of the crowd control we're applying. And especially if you're playing in a group, you're going to be doing a ton of damage as your friends are just crowd controlling stuff. You're going to be doing damage to it. And it's like, oh no, the elite went unstoppable. We're still doing 80% more damage to it. And so, yeah, things are just going to burn to death very, very quickly. And so it's going to be a really smooth and easy way to get to endgame. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll probably update this a little bit with video content as we're playing through the league. I'm planning to blast our way up to level 100 in less than 10 hours. So come by the stream, come hang out, and hope you guys have a good one. See ya.